Good morning, guys. It is a great day in room 625. It is. Hopefully you enjoyed your 2 weeks off and are ready to get back into the learning process and learn something brand new. Today we are talking about the coordinate plane. The coordinate plane is something you should have done in 5th grade. It's where we graph stuff. If you guys think back to when you were in my classroom, I had a lot of my kids in my 4th grade class graphing those Pokemon and emojis and social media apps. Those were all on the coordinate plane. So what is a coordinate plane? It's a flat surface where we can graph some points. Some definitions that we'll need. Coordinates are the numbers of an ordered pair that tell an exact location on a coordinate graph. Example right here is 4, 3. If you notice, a ordered pair has two numbers separated by a comma inside of a pair of parentheses. Next we have the origin. The origin is where the x-axis and the y-axis intersect. We'll talk more about that in a second. It's located at 0, 0. And last but not least, we have quadrants, so we have 4 of them. That prefix quad, if you're writing a quad, it has 4 wheelers. A quarter has 4 parts of a dollar. Quad means 4, and we have to write those in Roman numerals, and they represent a region of the graph. So, if we went to label, you'll see 3 lines here. The axis going horizontally, if you notice it's a number line, go from left to right. If it's going horizontally, we call that the x-axis. Going vertically is another number line. We call that the y-axis. And the point where they intersect is our origin. So x-axis, y-axis, origin. Next are the quadrants. Quadrant 1 is a place where a lot of kids don't think it would be at. If you think back to elementary school, you would have graphed in elementary school. You would have also probably made bar graphs or histograms. And when you made them, you used a piece of paper that looked like that. And if you notice that, it's kind of similar to a graph, except we don't have the other 2 parts of that. So you've already graphed on stuff on a table that looks like this. So this, since you've already learned it, this is our quadrant 1. And we write that using Roman numerals. So that's quadrant 1. Quadrant 2 is the quadrant next to it. So this would be quadrant 2. Quadrant 3 is down here. 1, 2, 3. And yes, we do have to use Roman numerals. If you look up here, quadrant 1 is just 1, and then 2 lines and 3 lines, 1, 2, 3. 4 is a little tricky. To represent 4, we use an I and then a V, so IV. The way Roman numerals work is V stands for I, and if you have a smaller number in front of a bigger number, it means to subtract. So since 1 is smaller than 5, 5 minus 1 is 4. If it was VI, that'd be equal to 6, because then you would add. But 1, 2, 3, 4. And when I write my Roman numerals in the correct order, it says hint, it makes the letter, it will make the letter C. So that's a little hint. If you forget what order they go in, draw the letter C, and it'll show you the order that they do go in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, next slide. We have to now locate these points and identify where they're at. So point A is right here. And if you look at the directions, it says use quadrant, axis, or origin. So where is point A? Well, this would be quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. One, 2, 3, 4. So point A would be in quadrant 2. Point B is actually not in a quadrant, it's on a line, and since it's on the vertical line, that would be on the y-axis. Point C is located right here, so quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4, quadrant 4, IV. D is, it's on the line as well. This one's on the horizontal line, so that would be our x-axis. Point E is where the 2 axes meet, so that would be our origin. Point F is right there. 1, 2, 3, quadrant 3. And point G is our last one right there, and it is in our very first quadrant. So on your homework, if you need help, look at your notes. They're also on Keynote, and it's a PDF attached to this assignment. But if you look here, rewatch this. Here are the locations of all those points. If you notice, we use Roman numerals for the quadrants, and then if the point was on a line, depending if it was on the horizontal axis, the y-axis, or where they intersect, we either use X, Y, or the origin to identify those points.